Hi, friends. I'm Emily Lay, and you're listening to the Simplified podcast. If you're looking for a soft, quiet place to land where you can filter out the noise and the hustle, this is it. You're in the right place. Every week, I pop into your ears and invite you to slow down and join me to explore practical ways to organize and automate the complicated parts of life so you can focus on what truly matters most. Are you getting ready for the new year? Well, at Simplified, we are too, and we want to help. Right now, you can use code NEWYEAR to save 20% off our signature 2022 daily or weekly Simplified planners. Just head on over to emilylay.com to get yours. Well, hi there. How's it going in your neck of the woods? If you celebrate Christmas, I hope yours was extra merry. We have had a nice holiday break in the Lay family. We had our annual gingerbread house competition, and the competition was fierce, of course. We had our Christmas Eve snack dinner, and of course, some Christmas morning fun. The week leading up to New Year has always been one of my favorites. I love how loose and quiet and calm it is. And every year, this is the week I start turning my thoughts to flipping the calendar forward and laying a foundation for the new year. This is like Sunday prep on steroids, you guys. So here's what I'm going to do. This week, I am going to meet you here on the podcast every single day for 4 days. Every morning, I'll help you gather your thoughts around different ways you can get ready for the new year. We're going to think about routines to start the new year on track, how to name what truly matters, what your focus is for the year, building up your friendship village, all kinds of stuff. But today, we're going to start at square one. We're going to talk about how to get started planning for your brand new year. Maybe even your best year yet. When I say those words, I bet you're thinking one of two things. You may be thinking, Emily, you are speaking my language. I am ready for my fresh start. I can't wait to fill my clean slate. And if that's you, sister, then rock on. I am so glad you're here. And I am thrilled we get to think about all the exciting things coming up for you. But maybe that's not where you are today. Maybe you woke up with a weight on your chest. Maybe you're struggling with something. Or many somethings, and you can barely think about how you're going to get through this day, let alone plan for an entire year where you're supposed to kill it. If that's where you are today, and if you're feeling like you're not good enough, if you're missing someone who's not going to be part of the upcoming year, when you dream of going in a new direction, but you're petrified of taking that first step because you're afraid you're going to fail, let me say, my heart goes out to you. I've been there before, and that's not fun. But I promise that this episode is still for you today. This whole New Year's series is made with you in mind. I see you, I'm with you, take what you need and leave the rest. I wanted to make sure we address that because we're all coming to this subject today from different places in our journey. So many of the messages we hear around this time of year are wrapped with excitement. Of course, I love a fresh start, but sometimes it's hard to feel like a fresh start is within your grasp. I just want to acknowledge that. No matter where I'm meeting you today with this topic, I truly believe it can be useful for you because taking steps to think about where you are and where you want to be, whether big or small, sets an intention in your heart. And intention is direction. It's a great place to start moving mountains. So here's where to start planning for your brand new year. Task 1, check in with yourself. It's a small thing, really, to ask yourself how you're doing and actually be interested in the answer. But if you're not big on journaling or meditating or praying, it's something we sort of forget to do. Do you ever hear that people who journal about what they're grateful for are happier? I hear that a lot, and I have no idea if that's actually true or if it's just like influencer science. But if those people who journal about their blessings are happier, I bet it's not thinking about the blessings part that makes them happy. I bet part of it is actually getting quiet and being present in the moment. I bet it's when they realize, maybe even on a subconscious level, I'm okay. I may not be exactly where I want to be, but for today, I'm okay. When you check in with yourself, you take yourself out of the vibrating brain that's commanding you to keep the projects moving, get the bills paid, get the kids out the door, check in with the partner and the parents and the friends. When you take a moment to think, the voice telling you to do everything grows quiet. It stops talking. It gets softer. And in that quiet space where the noise has dimmed down, you can ask yourself some big, honest questions. How are you feeling when you wake up every day? How do you react when you meet an unexpected challenge? How do you feel when you're going to bed at night? What makes you feel proud? What makes you feel joyful? What's making you anxious? What makes you feel like you're stretched too thin? What makes you laugh like you don't have a care in the world? These are the good kinds of questions to ask yourself. They help you kind of take inventory to see where you are and how you're actually doing. Task 2, think about your top priorities. This is what I mean when I say to name what matters most. There's a reason I etch the words "for what matters most" on the front of every single Simplified planner, because that's what we're doing all this for. That's why we try and sweat and cry and dream, because we do it for the people who matter to us, for the work that matters to us, for the ideas and causes that matter to us. Do you know what's beautiful? What matters to you is completely and wholly unique to you. So don't look at your friend and replicate what matters to her. You can look to her for inspiration, but you don't have to copy her. The things that matter most to her will be different from what matters to you. In a few days, we're going to talk more in depth about how to do this, so stay tuned for that. But right now, think about the people, the work, the causes, the ideas that matter most to you. Then as you're planning your year, we'll make sure those are the tent poles you plan around. But enough of that for now. You'll hear more about that tomorrow. Task 3, think about the kind of goal setting that motivates you. There are some people who thrive on having lots of data, and there's definitely something to be said for having a goal you can measure. Data can tell you if you're hitting your target heart rate during your workout. It can tell you if you've reached your word count for the day. Hi, I'm a writer, can you tell? It can tell you that maybe you should press pause on the whole add to cart thing, so your budget will thank you later. Having goals with specific, measurable numbers beside them can give you not only a direction to head in, but help you see how much progress you're making toward the thing you want. But like everything in life, there's a balance, and there's definitely such a thing as making too many measurable goals. Can you track all your water and steps and to-do list tasks and friends affirmed and business goals met and on and on and on? I mean, you can, but will you burn out quickly? Probably. Maybe choose a couple things you're going to really track really carefully. Again, this is that whole name what matters most thing. That's what it will come in handy for. But there's another way to think about goal setting. Over the last few years, I've thought a lot about coming up with a word that captures a theme that I want to concentrate on in the next year of my life. Moving into 2022, my word for the year is going to be evolution. I believe that at this point in my life, I am going to hit 39 years old in 2022, and it will be my last year of my 30s. My word and my focus and my intention and my goals and everything this year is going to be about evolving into who 39 and 40-year-old Emily is. And she's different than 38-year-old Emily. She's different than 20-year-old Emily, and she's a lot different than 15-year-old Emily. So who is she? And how do we get to know her? I'm really excited to kind of focus my year around that. In the past, I've concentrated on words like well and brave. They give me the direction to run in with the grace I need to trip sometimes and get back up and move along. So choose the goal setting that works for you. Maybe it's a mix of the two, with a word that underscores what you'd like to concentrate on this year, and a few measurable goals you can do a check-in on during the year. Task 4, remember that you are strong, and remember to be gentle with yourself. I want to tell you something before we finish up this episode. Clean slates and fresh starts are wonderful. No matter where I am in my life, I get a little excited to think about filling those pages. But sometimes thinking and planning for the future can feel a little bit daunting. You may have small things coming up that'll stretch your abilities. You may have big things on the horizon that will test your patience and maybe even your faith. I don't know what's in store for you this year, but here's what I do know. You are so much stronger than you think you are. Think about all the boulders you've moved over your life to get to where you are right now in this moment. Think about the mistakes, the late nights, the mean comments, the loneliness, the doubt in your abilities, a diagnosis you never expected, buckets of tears, the waves of grief that threaten to sweep you away. And yet, here you are. My dear, you are here. You are choosing to be present in your life. You are a living, breathing testament to the power of resilience. You have pushed and fought and scraped and clawed, and you are still here. And you are so strong. I also want you to know, strong people show the greatest strength when they are gentle with themselves. Strong people mess up. They know it's inevitable because when you're present in this life and you go out on a limb and you try something, you're not always going to get it right. But as Brene Brown says, I'm not here to be right. I'm here to get it right. Do you hear that? I'm not here to be right. I'm here to get it right. The last part of that sentence is the definition of being gentle with yourself. It's being the sweet mother you have and love so much, or mothering yourself the way you wish you were. It's placing a hand on your heart and saying over yourself, I know you are trying so hard. I am so proud of you for trying. I am so proud of your strong character. It's okay to get up and try again. I will be here for you every step of the way. No matter what happens in 2022, strong women will make the year great. They make the world better with their bravery, integrity, and strength of character. Go get them, sister. As we close out this episode, I would like to say a blessing for you as we leave this time together and get back into our days. In the moments when I don't know what's ahead, I like to ask for wisdom. That's what I do when I'm planning for the new year. And right now, I want to give you the words of the beautiful writer and theologian, Thomas Merton. He wrote the most beautiful prayer, and it goes like this. My Lord God, I have no idea where I am going. I do not see the road ahead of me. I cannot know for certain where it will end, nor do I really know myself. And the fact that I think that I am following your will does not mean that I am actually doing so. But I believe that the desire to please you does in fact please you. I hope I have that desire in all that I am doing. I hope that I will never do anything apart from that desire. And I know that if I do this, you will lead me by the right road, though I may know nothing about it. Therefore, will I trust you always. Though I may seem to be lost and in the shadows of death, I will not fear, for you are ever with me, and you will never leave me to face my perils alone. As always, I like to leave a little tip to help you put what we've talked about today into practice. So here is your task for today. If you're looking for a super deep dive into planning your year, then you need to know about Chris Guillebeau. Chris is a thought leader who's created a template for giving yourself a detailed annual review that'll help you take stock of where you are and where you want to go. I'll link to his template in the show notes. If you're ready for a masterclass in planning your year, Chris is your guy, and you're going to love his annual review. Thank you for listening to the Simplified podcast. I really hope today's episode gave you some tactical ways you can start laying the groundwork for your best year ever. You can find show notes for this episode at emilylay.com/podcast, where you can check out links and resources I mentioned here, and you can shop the Simplified brand of planners and products, which, by the way, those planners are 20% off with code NEWYEAR to help you start planning for 2022. Plus, for more simplicity tips, you can find me on Instagram at emilylay and at Simplified. If you're loving this show, then I bet you might like my latest book called Growing Boldly, Dare to Build a Life You Love, which is in stores right now wherever you buy books. By the way, thank you to every single one of you who's subscribed to the podcast and rated and reviewed it. Those are small but mighty ways to get this show to more people who may enjoy it. That's all for now. Until next time, thank you so much for listening. Bye.